Well, hey guys,
Here we are
it has been rough.
in our tent.
Yes.
Almost didn't have a tent to be in.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, yesterday was a crazy day over in Idaho. We literally almost lost our tent. I think we had like straight line winds that came in.
Yeah, it felt like at least 60 to 70 mile hour wind. You want to hold it because my shoulder is.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was bad. It was really bad.
We've been trying to run away from wind for the past couple of weeks, to tell you the truth.
Well, actually more than that, because ever since I don't know, somewhere in California, Morro Bay, when we first got there back in, gosh, what was that? Was that like April?
Yeah, but it got really bad.
Pismo Beach.
Yeah, it got really bad the past couple of weeks. And like you said, yesterday was like the nail to the coffin. It literally, we went
horrible.
to this place thinking that the gusts weren't going to be as bad. Out of nowhere, this system came in, literally destroyed our other little greenhouse thing that we had to get rid of, and it almost took this guy out. And
I had to hold it, like, just, it was flapping in the wind basically, and I could feel that the base of it was going to get ripped out of the ground by those anchors. The anchors were going to be no competition to the straight line winds.
Well, as I was holding the screen tent, it was no competition, and it was just like literally 60 to 70 mile hour winds.
That's bad.
We were having dinner. I was making the fish that the gentleman at that fishing area that we stayed in gave us, and we sat down to eat, and not but 5 minutes later, the gust of winds came in, literally blowing my food from my plate out. Like, we had chips, and I made a fish sandwich from the fish that he gave us. Yeah, catfish that he gave us, and it was just like, oh my God, it was really, really bad. Needless to say, we had to pack up. Luckily, the tent was saved, and we slept, or not slept, but tried to sleep at a rest area in our car. I don't know, in the seat.
Sleep was the word that qualifies for what people do when they're in a rest area. I think it's just rest. Rest from driving, but sleep is not something that I'm so glad we didn't go to that other campsite.
They're making so much noise
because they're literally like a half a mile away.
You can hear them like they're next door.
You can hear them. You can literally hear them. They're like up on a hill.
Yeah.
And they're like a big group. And good choice, babe.
Yeah.
Good choice.
It's been rough. It's been rough, needless to say. Winds, and now it's raining. And we've been like going in and out of the rain. You can see it on the top of the falling. And we're back in Oregon. We've been, we drove for a long time to get here from where we were. And we're staying at a free campsite. That's pretty nice. I mean, you really...
can't complain.
But
sometimes the best things, it seems like the whole time we've been traveling, wherever we find a really good camp spot, it's always free.
The free one. The ones we paid for,
they're always used up, or
lack of toilet paper, horrible bathrooms.
Even the one we were just at, it was $250. Right? Barely a charge, but they didn't even have toilet paper. And this one's free.
And somebody went to the toilet and must have been drunk, and
someone blew it up. All over the walls.
Yeah, that was like, we got to get out of here, because that's a health hazard, literally. But
didn't come back
rough.
to clean it up.
No.
Just left it like that.
And no
for
toilet
other
paper.
People.
For almost 3 days, no toilet paper. And it's like, it's time to go. It's time to head on out.
And we tried to get our money back from the guy.
We don't get refunds.
It's on the receipt. We don't get refunds. And it's like yesterday when we asked the lady at the Oregon site Oh, the Idaho site?
Was it Oregon or Idaho? I think it
Idaho.
was, yeah, it was
Idaho. Yeah, we crossed the border. And she was like, usually I don't do this, but, and it was $20.
Yeah, and she saw how he struggled trying to keep
She
our
must
tent
have
away. It
seen
was
us.
horrible. I mean, it just came in, dust was blowing everywhere.
Yeah, it was bad.
Everything was just flying away.
It was really bad.
It was rough. It was a rough day yesterday and rough night because couldn't sleep at the rest stop because we're not set up. We tilted our seat back and tried to get some sleep. I didn't get a wink. I mean, and it was freezing. Like around 5 o'clock in the morning, I said, "Let me turn the car and put the heater on,
Yeah.
so that I could at least get a couple of hours in, so I could drive."
Mm-hmm.
But it's, yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to make the most of it because last time we were I think we were just outside of Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
When we stopped. We had to stop for the night. And we didn't have a place to stay. And I tried to fall asleep with all the stuff that we had lost already. We had already minimized everything, but I didn't have any cushion, and there was no ability to really protect my head. So I thought about it yesterday, and I was like, I think I'm going to use my clothes that I've got in these little like bags and stuff, and I'm going to use it as a cushion. And it made a world of difference.
I
didn't
grab
take
any because my
advantage of
clothes
that.
were all the way in the back. So I just I was so tired and so stressed out. And I fell asleep initially maybe for an hour. Then I woke up and I couldn't find any comfort at all whatsoever. Yeah. Here, let me hold it for a while.
Well, no, I mean, my hands
Okay.
hands on it. So
Okay.
I just didn't want to.
Okay.
See, because I think the camera
somewhere back
is
there.
over here.
But anyway, it's, yeah.
But yeah, it was like lessons that we're learning about endurance and
perseverance and
patience. Because we get easily have lost our tent yesterday. Yeah. Easily. There's no doubt that in my mind that if we didn't have the right mental fortitude and control, that we would have probably lost the tent. And losing an $80 screen tent,
there's nothing compared to $2,500 with installation and bars and the whole 9 yards.
That's not as critical as something like this. So that was my priority. Number one was to make sure that this thing stayed in one piece.
Yeah, this is our sleeping quarters.
Yeah.
But, we're persevering and learning and growing and evolving from this whole experience.
And we've got ideas for if something were to take place in the future with regards to not being able to find a campsite, having too much wind in a certain location, it being too rainy to set up, that we would actually have a fallback. So we're thinking about going to Walmart again and getting some neck pillows, the ones they use at the airport.
When you're sleeping in
at the airplane. And a little small pillow for our side to be able to have some cushion.
So you could at least, do one of these things on the side of the car. Where the car, the seats are hard. You got all this hard stuff, and it's just basically impossible to fall asleep.
Yeah, it is.
And our seats recline very much so. It's so if
we can get them to recline more in those situations.
Oh, you can, as long as you just move the stuff that you have behind it.
I was too tired to move my stuff.
Yeah.
So I just kind of dealt with it. And I was able to recline somewhat. Not as much as the last time, but last time, no matter how much I reclined, it didn't matter. I couldn't find sleep. But I think that combination with being able to recline and then being able to have a cushion.
Neck pillow and a cushion.
Yeah, some support for your neck, which is something that it would be beneficial,
Yeah.
and give us the ability to be very flexible.
Yeah, because
in where-
sometimes you can't pull this guy out with the weather being the way that it is. There's just a lot of weather systems, a lot of wind. So we have to be able to make adjustments. And I want to report spiders are horrible. I've been getting bit. Careful as you got that guy. I've been getting bit
Go ahead.
by a bunch of like little spiders, like one of my left cheek and my ankle, and it's like we must have killed at least 5 or 6 spiders. Yesterday when we were driving, you had one on your leg.
Yeah,
You had to, like,
there's
literally-
one on my leg. It's
yeah.
like these little white spiders.
They're not really white, they're brown, but they're
No,
like,
this one was white.
that one's white.
Yeah.
The ones that have been hanging around, like even the night before last, we had one as we walked inside or crawled inside our tent. It was right there. And it's like, I tried to kill it and I didn't. And we found it again and was able to kill it because they bite you when you sleep and they bite me. Which
They
is
don't
horrible.
bite me.
No, they bite
I don't know
me.
why, but they do bite
I've
you.
got spider
Like I said,
bites all
maybe
over.
I'm waiting for the East Coast to come get me or
maybe that's
something.
what's
But
gonna get you.
on
But
the West
yeah.
Coast, it's all you all the time.
Yeah, on me all the time. But as much as we're complaining right now about all the different things that have been taking place, this is awesome. It
Yeah.
really is.
Well, the world's in a kind of a hellish landscape right now. We just had some massive military thing going on over in Iran, and we haven't really had much time to contemplate what that is going to mean.
Yeah.
I don't know if people understand what
what's
that
happening.
signifies, but
We're ahead of the game though because we're doing what we're doing. We're acclimating to things like if we had to run to the woods in a place where water, we have solar panels.
we're learning survival
Yeah,
skills
massive survival
before
skills.
we need it.
Yeah.
Before you need it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're, maybe looking at some kind of backup plan for water or power or anything because, you attack a country, you're going to get attacked again back, and
So you run to the woods, at least you stand a chance. You find an area that has some water and
no, I mean, a rogue nation could attack your water supply. It could attack your infrastructure, your electric grid. So we're basically kind of ahead of that game right now because we have the ability to be portable, movable. Importance is being able to be close to a source of water. That's kind of like very prerequisite for life is to be able to have water. And cities, when their water gets shut down, there's not much they can do.
And plus you can gather food or fish in the water.
Like we found a plum, we found
plum tree,
we found apricots.
Yeah.
So like we're gonna be in areas where there's some kind of vegetation or fruit. Or something
if you're
like
near
that.
water, you get fish,
If you're near water, you can fish.
Yeah.
And resourceful people that even don't have fishing poles actually pull off a Cuban way of doing it.
Yeah, that's what
Like with a yo-yo or something?
Yeah.
Or yo-yo fishing?
Yo-yo, little piece of bread or something, and you throw it in there.
Bread.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something he does with a yo-yo.
Yeah.
Is it with a yo-yo?
Yeah, it's called a yo-yo. It's not really a yo-yo.
Oh,
it's
it's
like
not
a
a
reel,
yo-yo.
and it's got fishing string on it, and you.
Leave it to Cubans and their resourcefulness.
Yep.
So, yeah. So
that's it. That's all we got for now. Hopefully we'll be able to take videos of beautiful places for you.
Before they don't
exist anymore.
I mean, they're trying to sell off 80% of our national
parks,
parklands and our BLM lands and stuff.
Somebody was like, well, maybe you could take a video when the wind's blowing. Do you think when you're like in
Are
distress?
we the Weather Channel?
We in distress. We're going to, wait, let's pull
Do
out the
we
camera
literally need
and
to, like,
videotape this.
Do we literally need to be out in the middle of like a blustery wind holding onto a pole with a camera? No,
No,
I don't think so.
no.
And waiters, I don't have waiters.
No, no.
I don't think that's something you're going to see on this channel. We're just trying to share with you what we're doing on a daily basis, how we're surviving, how we're making do, and how we're allowing the situation and all of our challenges to allow us to change.
Yeah.
You know, it may be painful, but
that's what helps you grow.
Yeah, helps us grow.
All right, guys. Love you. Remember to love yourselves too, while you still can.